Fishing Historic Places here, Maine chapter. This is Matt. So I'm here in my garden, and you see here most of it I've let it kind of go fallow. So this year I only planted about 30% of it, but this hall behind me that you see right here, I'll kind of let these pieces go fallow. But in that there are a lot of edible weeds that are better for you oftentimes than the things that you're growing in terms of your crops. The first one that I want to point out that's growing right here, I'm in the process of making a salad of it, is called lamb's quarters. I'm going to hold that up close so you can see it right there. So lamb's quarters got kind of a white powdery underside, leaves right there, right? It's used as either a salad green, all right, or boiled vegetable. Now boiled greens aren't common anymore here, or less common than they used to be, but it was a fairly common thing here in New England, right? So also there's another one growing here called purslane. I'm gonna hold that right up there so you can see it's a succulent, interesting kind of plant, grows as a vine kind of on the ground. And that's also typically seen as a weed, but it's very, very good for you. Lamb's quarters has more iron, more protein, more vitamin B2, and more vitamin C than the spinach that you typically buy in a store, or that you would even grow in your garden, right? And your purslane is full of omega-3 acid. So before you pull those weeds out of the garden, all right, remember, oftentimes they're better eaten than the stuff that you're trying to grow. Maine Fishing Historic Places, there's your natural history lesson, all right, natural history minute. So one thing that I'd like to add about when it comes to gathering wild foods like this, make sure you know your identification, right? There are some things that are lookalikes that can get you ill. Typically, they're not that hard to tell the difference. Also, make sure that if you're gathering in an area that's more urban than where I'm at, it's easy for me. I'm out here in rural Maine, so it's easy for me to not worry so much about sprays, pesticides and things like that. But if you're in an area where it's more urban, you have to worry about those things. Was it a place that was used as a dump years ago, right? Could there be chemicals in the soil, things like that you just need to be aware of. So just remember that if you do decide to gather wild food. Now here's another one right here. I'm gonna turn so you can kind of see it. Second here. Queen Anne's lace. Right there. Queen Anne's lace is part of the carrot family. If you pull out Queen Anne's lace, you smell the base of it. It smells just like a carrot. The roots are really small and chewy, so it's probably something that it's not the same as a domestic carrot, but they are part of the carrot family, or they're related to the carrot. Oh, we got a deer bed right there. Got to remember that. You can see it. They are related to the carrot, but some people use them you can use them, cook them, eat them, things like that. So they are edible. And there's the twins right there that bedded right there. That's the fawns. You can see right there. There it is. So mama bedded over by the trees and the fawns laid right there. That's a good sign. If you live in an area with white-tailed deer and you see a lot of twins, that's indicative that the herd is healthy, because a doe needs to be healthy and have several easy winters under her belt before she can easily lay down twins or triplets. So here in Maine, we're seeing a lot of that this year because we've had a couple easy winters. So the next thing I'm walking up on here is staghorn sumac. And staghorn sumac is great for making sumac tea. Or sumac lemonade, as some people call it. You would take the seed clumps on top. Got my bag here to harvest them, right? You'd harvest them off, you clip them, bring a pot of water to a simmer, not quite a boil. Simmer, put 2 or 3 of those clumps in there, strip all the seeds off of it, and then let it steep, similar to tea or like lemonade. And Then add some sugar, some lemon if you want, things like that to kind of make a tea out of it. And we'll show you what staghorn sumac looks like here just in a second. Okay, here we are coming up on our sumac here behind us, turning it out of the sun here. So if you look here, staghorn sumac, very common in the eastern United States. And on that, those red seed pods that you see right there, those can be cut out. You can actually grind them in like a flour, use them as a base and things like that. But the seed pods on top are very easy to identify. But you steep those like a tea, make iced tea out of it. So I'll let you know how it comes out here in a second. Each batch is always a little bit different. But great source of like an alternative to a tea or a lemonade. And it's right here, typically growing in places where, what I call waste places. This is an old kind of still operating sand pit and gravel pit over here, where parts of it have all been torn up. It's been farmed. If you look over here, see there's a manure pile, there's rock piles. So typically places like this have a lot of these edible weeds and things like that. As long as they haven't been sprayed or there's not chemicals, you'll be fine. It's a great place to forage and gather. Enjoy kind of what the outdoors has to offer.